Hi, and welcome to the Clicker webinar, Accessible Classroom Resources for Nurturing Social Emotional Learning. My name's Rebecca, and I'm a Customer Experience Consultant at Crick Software, providing Clicker training to educators in the US. And I'm joined by my colleague Tania, Crick's Curriculum Specialist. Our webinar will run from 3:45 p.m. until 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This webinar will be recorded, and the recording will be sent to all of you in the next couple of days. During the webinar, please use the Q&A function to ask any questions you may have. Our colleague Carolyn is joining us today, and she'll help answer any of those questions in the Q&A. Please also feel free to email us at training@cricksoft.com at the end of the webinar if you have any other questions. At the end of the webinar, I'll show you how to book a free consultation with us to learn more about Clicker. Anyone interested in purchasing Clicker can book a demo before buying, and current Clicker customers are welcome to book customer care meetings with us at any time. These 15-minute meetings are a great way to make sure you're getting the most out of your Clicker subscription. We can discuss whatever you'd like, such as how to make a Clicker set or getting started. So stick around at the end of the webinar and I will show you how to book those consultations on our website. In today's webinar, we'll be showing you resources using Clicker for laptops and computers. But all of the resources are also available through our 3 apps for iPads and Chromebook users: Clicker Writer, Clicker Books, and Clicker Talk. If you have the apps, you get all 3 of them with your subscription. While navigating through Clicker today, we're going to explore how Clicker supports social emotional learning. We'll highlight the importance of social emotional learning in the classroom. We'll provide examples of SEL resources from LearningGrids, Clicker's bank of already made resources provided in the desktop and apps version of Clicker. And we'll demonstrate how Clicker resources can be used for whole class, small group, or independent learning needs. I'll pass it on over to Tania now to get us started.
Thanks, Rebecca. It's really great to be here with everyone. As Rebecca said earlier, I'm the curriculum specialist here at Crick Software, and one of my main jobs is creating the free curriculum resources for LearningGrids. We cover a large range of topics for different curriculum subjects, age ranges, and students' abilities. But alongside supporting academic learning, we also recognize the role that social emotional learning has to play in classrooms today. So we've created a large range of SEL clicker sets as well. The plan for the webinar is to explore some of those resources and more generally explore how Clicker can support the delivery of social emotional learning in your school. But I think it would be helpful to start by looking at what social emotional learning is. As I'm sure most of you are familiar, the organization CASEL has been a leader in the movement to make SEL an integral part of education. This is their definition of social emotional learning, and it really has been the starting point for most SEL programs that I've explored. SEL is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. So following along from the CASEL definition, you'll find that most SEL programs aim to help students enhance their ability to understand and manage their feelings and emotions, develop empathy, compassion, and respect for others, learn effective communication skills to solve problems, create positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. I think we can all understand how all of these things are crucial for an effective classroom environment that nurtures its students to become successful learners. But let's take a moment to look at why SEL really is so important. A lot of research and studies have been done to look at the benefits of social emotional learning. And they have found that that a focus on SEL actually improves academic achievement. Clearly, looking after students' emotional well-being makes them more open and available to learning. It also increases pro-social behaviors such as kindness, sharing, and empathy, which are so valuable in the classroom. It improves it improves students' attitudes towards school, which otherwise can be one of the biggest barriers to learning. And so importantly, it reduces depression and stress among students. All of these needs have been amplified in the past few years as we have seen a spike in mental health challenges triggered by the COVID pandemic. We have really seen just how important it is to help students build a strong foundation for emotional well-being and resilience.
Clearly, lots of schools have found ways to incorporate social emotional learning in their classrooms. So why would they want to use Clicker as part of their SEL delivery?
That's a good question, Rebecca. You're right. Lots of schools are addressing SEL, but the difficulty can be in making sure that it's accessible and meets the needs of all students. It's one thing to have a program in place, but if students can't access the content or contribute their own ideas, then that really defeats the purpose. What you'll find with Clicker is that it is very flexible and can offer different levels of support, whether this is through speech feedback, the use of images, or different reading and writing supports. Clicker easily accommodates different learning styles, maximizing the potential for student involvement. That involvement is so essential with emotional learning. This ties in with the principles of universal design for learning, since Clicker has been created to offer multiple ways for students to engage with and respond to their learning. Our goal with Clicker is to make the curriculum accessible to all students, and SEL is an important part of that curriculum. When we have a look at some resources, you'll see that Clicker's unique features and the different set types mean that we can truly offer a multi-sensory approach to SEL. We have illustrated talking books, graphic organizers, word frames and word banks, and speaking activities, all of which can be personalized for your students' needs. On a more practical but really significant note, Clicker and the resources that we have already created provide to you on Learning Grids are a huge time saver for teachers in their approach to SEL. Rebecca's going to share some Clicker sets with us. We'll be showing some activities from the different Castle SEL categories: self-awareness and self-management, social awareness and relationship skills, and responsible decision making.
Thanks, Tanya. Before I get started, I just wanted to remind you all again, don't forget about that Q&A function if you have any questions while I'm showing you some of our Clicker sets. So on to Clicker here. This is Clicker for laptops and computers, what I'm showing you on the screen right here. You'll see that I have a lot of Clicker sets open on the bottom of my screen. I'll be showing you a variety of the types of sets that you can use in your classroom. These resources are all also available in the 3 different apps, which will open in a specific app depending on the resource. Having a variety of Clicker sets provides a lot of different ways to support students in sharing their ideas. For example, sentence sets, connect sets, and word banks provide scaffolded sentence building with words and phrases, whereas books offer built-in reading differentiation with on-screen text-to-speech, and talk sets provide an opportunity for students to focus on their verbal skills. I'll be showing you an example of each of these today and more. This Clicker set currently open is called a Connect set. It's called the Daily Check-in, and it's a great example of our Connect sets. Again, this Connect set is available in the Clicker Writer app as well. Students use this set to write about how they're feeling and how things are going at home, school, and with friends. They could keep a weekly document, or this could be used as part of a feelings journal. The first grid, or sentence, has students note what day it is. They simply click or tap.
Today is Monday.
And Clicker will read it back to you. If you're new to Clicker or less familiar with Clicker, you'll see that when I added a period, the sentence was read back to me. Then we can move on to the next sentence with this move forward arrow.
I feel happy.
You can also hear words before you send it to the document. So I could click on any of these emotions to double check to help me with my reading.
Sad. Surprised.
You can also click on a word in the document to hear it read back to you.
Happy. Things at school are good.
You'll see that throughout this webinar, I'm going to show you how you can quickly edit any of our sets, our clicker sets, to meet the needs of your classroom. So for example, I could change any of these emotions to something else. I would go down here to edit clicker set. And here is where I would choose which word I want to change. I'm going to change angry to mad. I could either straight away change it right here or click into the cell that I want to change and type in what I want to change it to. Then I'll click go to use my new connect set. And there you can see the change right there. The next set is called a talk set, providing students the opportunity to strengthen their verbal skills. You could also open this in the Clicker Talk app for Chromebooks and iPads. This is a daily reflection talk set that could be used as another check-in option. It could be used as a pre-writing activity or to provide an alternative means of expression for some students. If I click on one of the days, it brings me to two recording buttons. These are record and listen buttons, with the idea that students could record an achievement and something challenging from the day. You can also have up to 6 of these if you'd like on a page. So to record, you click on one of the buttons and click the record button. Today I woke up and I had a really yummy breakfast, but then I forgot to bring my lunch to school. Click done, and now you'll see that there is something that I've recorded and I could click on it to listen to it. Today I woke up and I had a really yummy breakfast, but then I forgot to bring my lunch to school. When you go back to the main page, it will tell you which days that you've recorded on. Then, at the end of the week, you could listen to the entire week in order. For many younger children, we may have to take a step back to develop their understanding of feelings and emotions first before they can express their own. That's where Clicker books are really beneficial. You can view any of our Clicker books in the Clicker Books app as well. This Clicker book that you see here is called Peter's Feelings, and it could be a really good starting point as a read aloud. You can click the move forward arrow here and navigate through the different pages. This is a simple book about the reasons why Peter has different feelings. Students may be able to relate to any of the ways that Peter feels, which also ties into empathy, or discuss how they'd be feeling in those emotions. It could be used with the whole class, with a group, or by an individual student. By clicking the read button on each page, Clicker will read aloud the whole page to the student.
He is surprised when his friends throw him a party.
Or you could also click each word to listen to it read aloud.
He is surprised.
This book would lead really nicely into the My Feelings Clicker board. Clicker boards provide mind maps for brainstorming. And don't forget that if you have the Clicker Writer app, you can open this Clicker board there too. This Clicker board focuses on different emotions. This would be a really great whole class activity, or if a student is using it on their own, maybe they focus on one emotion. The first tab is what makes you feel happy. The other emotions are on the side here. And you could always add or remove an emotion or add a whole new tab or more if you'd like to. By clicking into a cell, I can add my contributions. Animals make me happy. Friends make me happy. And maybe I need a little support with my spelling, so I can turn on the predictor here. Pizza also makes me happy. Here, the predictor is bringing up a few words to suggest, and I can right-click to hear any of them read aloud.
Pizza.
There we go. The information on this board then can be used to create a word bank if you wanted to follow up with a writing activity. You would click here and click Create Word Bank. Now I have a really nice word bank with tabbed vocabulary if we had filled out each of these tabs with our contributions that we can then add to the page.
What makes you feel happy?
For students who need additional support with this activity, you could use the Feelings Connect set. Let's start a new document by clicking here. This Connect set provides sentence starters and endings. From the first grid, I could use the sentence starters, I feel happy when I, and then from the next grid, I choose an ending.
I feel happy when I eat my favorite food.
Remember that you can change any of the content by going to Edit Clicker Set and clicking into any of the cells that you want to change. And then click Go. So there's that new one that I added here. And also remember that students aren't limited to just what's in the grid. They could always type as well. So I could use the starter, and then maybe I want to peek at my endings to look at to help me support in my writing.
I feel happy when I play with my dog.
Or alternatively, come up with a new idea. To help students become more aware of their feelings and begin to manage those feelings, many schools are focusing on mindfulness. We have a book about a mindful walk that could be helpful to introduce the concept of mindfulness. It could also connect well to exploring the 5 senses in science. This one brings you through a couple of different pages. And once again, you can click the read button.
What do I see?
Or click on a word to hear it read aloud.
Fence.
We also have a lot of other sets to go along with the Mindful Walk book so that you could follow up with your own mindful walk, perhaps around your own school. These include a writing mind map for a mindful walk. This clicker board provides a great opportunity to come together and reflect on our mindful walk and use our senses during the walk as a class, or for one student to independently recap their own walk. We also have a talk set to verbally record our findings related to each sense. Click on one of them and we can record what we smelled. I smelled flowers. Once again, you can have up to 6 recordings. So this could be for 6 different students to talk about what they smelled, or one student to record 6 different things that they smelled. We also have a word bank writing frame. Again, providing different forms of engagement, scaffolding, and differentiation. Here we have starters about what they saw, smelled, heard, and felt on their mindful walk, and then the different nouns, verbs, and adjectives. The next clicker board demonstrates how the responsible decision-making aspect of SEL is connected to self-awareness and self-management. This activity navigates students through the magnitude of problems they may face. Being aware of your feelings and emotions is great, but for many children, they need help learning to control those emotions in some situations. This sizing up a problem activity could be useful for exploring the difference between big and little problems and considering how someone might react in different scenarios. This could be used for whole class discussions where the teacher adds different scenarios or you get suggestions from the students. The class then discusses where it should go on the scale and what an appropriate reaction to the problem might be. Or discussing each other's reactions could be to further support in sympathy and empathy. Here I have 2 scenarios. Rebecca lost her pencil and Sam took Jack's markers. If this is being used by an individual or the whole class, it might be helpful to have the student add a voice note to the board so they can explain the scenarios. For example, Rebecca could further explain this one, that she lost her pencil. So I'd click my voice note and drag it in. Double click to record. I couldn't find my pencil today and I thought that I was going to get in trouble. Alternatively, a student could use these to record where they moved their problem and why. After some discussion and understanding, Rebecca may be able to make a decision and move this to the tiny problems to help Rebecca understand that it's okay to misplace our things once in a while. And then we could also offer solutions, such as asking a teacher or a friend to borrow one for the day, showing Rebecca that this could be a tiny problem and it's okay to brush this one off. This leads on well to social awareness and relationship skills, because if you overreact to problems, most likely it won't just be an issue for you, but could also cause issues with the relationships around you. As students develop their relationships with friends and classmates, sets such as this, working with a partner clicker board, can be used to explore what helps to create positive interactions with others. We can collaborate on what makes a good partner by once again clicking into a cell to add our contributions. I could turn on the predictor to further support me in my writing. Right-click to hear any of the choices.
Questions.
We could use this board even further by adding another tab for a student to describe their own instance of when they were a good partner or felt their partner was a good partner. I'm going to click the plus sign to add a new board and just click a blank one. Drag in a cell and make it bigger for a big canvas to type in. I could even call this board my experience, and then I can type in about my experience. For older students, studying characters from books can be an effective way to also develop an understanding of relationships, as well as to develop empathy. Asking students how they think a character is feeling during certain events in a book, or how they'd react if they were in their shoes. You can use a clicker board to synthesize their ideas. For example, as part of a group of sets exploring the book Charlotte's Web, we have this clicker board. It would lend itself both for the analysis of the novel, but also as a chance to explore the larger issues of friendship. We have a couple of tabs here, and you could add another one if you'd like. And of course, you could modify this clicker board any way you'd like. If you click on a cell, you could change the color or the shape. And you can always add more tabs, like I said. This also leads well into exploring kindness, both in regards to performing acts of kindness and appreciating kindness that is offered to you. Let's start a new document again so we have a fresh page. Like many teachers, when I was teaching, I had a kindness jar. So during the week, students could add slips of paper to it with things that their classmates had done that they'd appreciated. And at the end of the week, I'd read out those statements and we could celebrate all their acts of kindness. This Connect set could not only help teach this concept, but then also support struggling writers join in that activity. We have sentence starters. Then teachers can add their students' names. I'll just type one in for now. And then we have the acts of kindness.
It made me happy when Jack played with me.
Of course, these could be changed with specific scenarios from your students, or this could be used as a brainstorming session to come up with what these would look like together as a class and what we would like to see happening in our classroom. Let's take a look at the decision-making category of SEL again. When first starting to engage students in the decision-making process, a simple T-chart and clicker board, such as decisions, pros, and cons, can be a good place to start. Students add the decision to the top of the cell and then list the advantages and disadvantages of that decision. This could be something as simple as a student has to decide whether to bring their lunch from home or have school lunches. So they think through all the pros and cons about a lunch from home. In the top cell, you would add the decision. Then we would click on the cells in pros and cons to add our contributions. I know I'll like it if I bring it. And it teaches me, let's turn on that predictor again, responsibility.
Responsibility.
A con might be that I might forget to bring it. You can move on to a more sophisticated graphic organizer, such as the decision-making planner. Maybe a student needs to decide which after-school activity to take part in. On the top cell, we would add in the decision we're trying to make. Which after-school club should I join? Students then fill in the options. Soccer club, photography, and chess. Then students would think of possible outcomes, some reflection, ultimately helping to make a decision. Students can also record before writing to help sort out their thoughts. Drag in that record button and click record. I really like soccer, but I think I should try something new. Plus, Jessica's in the photography class. But my dad loves to play chess, and then I could practice with him. So there, that student is really synthesizing through their ideas to come up with the possible outcomes. Use this one alongside with the decision-making writing word bank to write about the decision-making process and its outcomes. This could turn into a really great lesson in writing in general. The first grid has a lot of sentence starters to help get going. So the first one is on top that says, the issue I'm trying to resolve is, and then I'm going to fill it in, which club I should join.
The issue I am trying to resolve is which club I should join.
Then we have more options to help us with our writing. One option is, and now I'm using that planning board that I wrote the 3 different clubs on. One option is soccer club.
One option is soccer club.
A positive outcome from this option could be, let's turn on the predictor to help me finish this one, getting more exercise. There it is.
Exercise. A positive outcome from this option could be getting more exercise.
I'm thinking back to 4th grade essay writing, and this could have been and could be a really great model on how to write 3-paragraph essays. And then even better to continue supporting those students that might need a little bit more scaffolding and some structure. All right, we just went through a whole lot of SEL clicker resources, and all of these came from LearningGrids, which are available on both Clicker for laptops and computers, as well as our 3 apps, Clicker Writer, Clicker Books, and Clicker Talk. I will turn it back to Tania now, who will navigate us through LearningGrids.
Thanks so much, Rebecca, for sharing all those sets. I wish we had time to go through more, since this is just really a taste of what we put together to support SEL. And I'm sure all of you will have other great ideas of how you could use Clicker tools to create your own SEL resources. And it's really easy to create your own in either the apps or the desktop version of Clicker. We have lots of quick tutorials on our website to help you if you get stuck. But I want to make sure first that everyone knows how to find the resources that we've shown. Just about everything that Rebecca went through can be found on LearningGrids, which can be accessed directly through Clicker here. You have similar easy access to LearningGrids within each of the apps. As we said earlier, LearningGrids is our library of free, ready-made resources, and you can see that we cover all the main curriculum subject areas, with lots of different topics in each of them. If you're wanting to find specifically SEL activities, you could search for SEL by typing here. But we also have a collections section They'll have a quick look in. And you'll see that we put in different special topics here, including we have a link to the SEL resources. For any activity, you can find out more about it by clicking the More button. And then you can simply click Open to use the set. Don't forget, as we've been telling you throughout the webinar, you can make any changes you want to the sets to fit the needs of your students and really personalize the resources.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tania. Don't forget that all of these resources we showed you, as Tania said, are available in both Clicker for the computer and Clicker apps. Thank you so much for your time today. You will all receive an email in the next few days with access to the recording of today's webinar, as well as links to book a Clicker consultation with one of our team members. Also, when you leave the webinar today, a brief survey will pop up for you to fill out. If you do need to get going, no worries, but I'm going to navigate to the website now to show you some useful places as how to book a demo or a customer care meeting. So our website is cricksoft.com. And when you get here, to book a consultation, you're going to go to Products and click Clicker. And right here, it says Free Consultation. If you're not currently a customer, then the next best steps for you would to book a free demonstration with an education consultant who can provide an in-depth overview tailored to your school's or district's needs. If you're a current Clicker customer and you have some specific questions about how to do certain things in Clicker or the Clicker apps, such as getting started or learning how to make one of the resources that I showed today or how to get to it again, you can click here. We also have a really great training hub on our website. We're going to click to Clicker, and here you'll find Clicker basic videos and tutorials, our intro webinar. You can sign up for the latest Clicker news, as well as see other live webinars coming up and register for them here. Here's our information again. Thanks again. Bye.